Hey everybody, Sean Holsinger here from holsingersflyshop.com. Bringing another tying video. I got a dry fly this week, and it's called the butt Fluff Caddis. I don't know how the guy come up with a name for it. This is a pattern that I saw on Instagram, was really cool. I thought, man, I got to add that one to my box. It's a C.D.C caddis, and I'm going to be 100% honest. I have a love-hate relationship with C.D.C. My love is it catches pressured fish. If I have a fish that's not taking a catskill or something like that, style dry fly, I throw a C.D.C fly on, get it riding in the film, and it'll almost always take it. It's a pressured fish fly. I love C.D.C for that. My hate is C.D.C, you have to have the right floating for it. High and dry floating, can't recommend it enough. But C.D.C gets the fish slime and soaks into it and stuff like that, and it doesn't float. So I don't get as many fish out of a C.D.C fly as I do, say, a catskill or a parachute style fly. That's the hate part. But then again, I will say, when it gets soaked up, fish it on the swing underneath the water, and it'll catch just as many fish. It's great. C.D.C, like I said, love-hate relationship. Anyway, enough talking, guys. Here you're going to see a picture of this very cool pattern and then the material list to tie it. Okay, here you see in the vise the butt Fluff Caddis. Really cool caddis pattern. Let's get into tying it. For a hook, I'm using a Daiichi 1260. This is a size 16. It's a curved hook. It'll work for a dry fly. It's pretty light wire. I'm going to put a little egg sac on the back of this. You do not have to do this, but I'm using some 140 Denier fluorescent yellow thread. Just going to start it on back there by the bend of the hook. Take my finger and make a little ball of thread. Make a couple wraps there. You don't have to build it up real big. And then bring your thread up here and make a small whip finish to tie it off. It doesn't have to be a good big whip finish because you're going to cover that up with thread. Now, come in with my 140 Denier olive thread and cover that up. Okay. Now, next thing we're going to put on is some stretch tubing. This is the Midge golden stone, light golden stone. Putting that over the amber, it's going to give it over this olive thread, it's going to give it an olive color. You can use olive if you have. I just had the light golden stone handy here in the size I wanted here at my studio where I shoot my videos. So I'm going to wrap that right back to the egg and wrap it back forward and just make a nice smooth body there. I don't want to build up a lot. I just want it to be nice and smooth so it doesn't make bumps and stuff in my stretch tubing. And we're just going to wrap that forward. Nice side by side wraps. And we're going to tie it off. We're going to tie it off good to almost 3 eye lengths. 2 eye lengths behind the eye there. And then trim that. Okay, now it's time for the wing on this fly. For the wing, I'm using 4 C.D.C feathers. And I'm going to stack these. I'm going to stack them back to back. I'm going to stack 2 one direction and 2 the opposite direction and sandwich them together, as you see there. It's going to flatten them out. But then I'm just going to take and slide my fingers to pinch them all and get them nice and tight and have a nice tight wing like you see there. Make sure the ends are all together and out the same area there. And this is the light gray. And we're just going to set them right on top. Get them, I want them to go just right over the end past that egg there. Not too far, but just right past it. And then I'm going to pinch it in my finger and tie it down tight. Keep them on top. Make a couple of wraps there. Make sure it's where I want it, which it is. And then I'm going to trim the butt section off. Alright, get that nice and close there. And then I'm going to come back just a little bit. I want to build just a little bit of a head here. You can, if you want, take some Glow Bright. I'm not going to do it. I'll show you one here. One that I tied. You can put a little tag to see it on there if you like with some Glow Bright. I'm not going to because it's a small fly. It's intended to be small. And I don't want to. So next thing we're going to do is I'm going to take another one of these C.D.C feathers. I'm going to take and strip it all back. Get the fibers to all stand up. Stand straight out away from the shaft of the feather like this. And then here's one I've already done. I'm going to take a layer of dubbing, just a real thin layer of dubbing, lay it on the fibers, and then put it in my clamp. So here you can see it in my clamp now. You can see the fibers mixed with the dubbing, and I cut it right off at that feather shaft. Now I'm going to split my thread and put that in my split thread. That's why I'm using 140 denier here, so I can split the thread a little bit easier rather than trying to fight with 70 and breaking the thread or not being able to get my needle in it. I like to use 140, a wider thread, just so I can spread it easier. I just take my needle, as you see, and rub it until it flattens out. Once it gets flat, then I can slide my needle in between the thread and separate it in half, as you see there. Then we're just going to put my clamp in between there with my dubbing in the C.D.C and let the clamp out. And then it'll pinch that in between, as you see. Then I'm just going to give a spin on my bobbin. See it spinning down there. Let go of it and it'll tighten it up. Let's make a nice tight dubbing brush there. And then we're going to wrap this on here for this head. As I'm wrapping, I'm going to pull these C.D.C fibers backwards and just make a nice head. Once I get up the eye, we're going to whip finish it off. And I like to make 2 smaller whip finishes on this. Try not to crowd the eye too much. And there you go. You got a nice buggy looking pattern that with some high and dry, it's going to float nice in the water. And it's going to catch you those hard to catch fish, those picky ones that, you know, don't want the big intrusive fly. These ones will lay in the water nice and catch your fish. Okay guys, I hope you like that. Like I said, you can add a cider in there if you want to. I do and I don't like the cider, I should say. Sometimes I just can't see it, and I'm fishing more out of instinct, watching the fly where it should be if I see a rise in that area, if it's going to go under or something like that. So you can use the cider if you want to. I also think, hey, it could just be a deterrent for the fish. So sometimes I put them on, sometimes I don't. So anyways, guys, have fun. If you need any of the materials to tie it, like always, please head over to our website, holsingersflyshop.com. And thanks for supporting our channel. Give us the like, give us a thumbs up. Don't be afraid to leave a comment down below if you like this pattern, if you've seen it before or something like that. Leave a comment for it. I love answering your comments. I'll try to get back to them quickly. So have fun tying, guys. If you need anything, we're here for you at holsingersflyshop.com. But until next week, I'm Sean Holsinger.